So I just want to say that I will be taking apologies from anybody willing to give it. I talked about a week ago about Hitman 4. I know I upset people because Hitman 3 had just come out, and then like the day after it comes out, I say, oh, let's talk about Hitman 4. And some people have a problem with that. I do it more jokingly, but I do it in a way where we talk about the future. You know, could we potentially get more Hitman stuff? And guess what? Alex was on the money. Alex was right here. I don't know why I'm talking in third person, but maybe I'll continue. I do want to talk about this story. It came out early yesterday, and that it's IO Interactive is going to be making, honestly, a lot more Hitman stuff. So we'll read the article. It comes from The Gamer. But before I get too far into it, make sure, as always, if you guys like me being right about things, and I'm just kidding, by the way, I'm just kidding, make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And also, if you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus is its name. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. All right. Cockiness aside, joking aside, this is exciting. I adore Hitman 3. I did a review on it on this channel. Did actually really good. You guys seem to really like it, and I appreciate it. And basically, the quote that really stands out is, we're continuously working on Hitman, so we are already looking to the future. That was in regards to basically, and the question that was asked was like, did you leave it open enough, or like, are you thinking about, you know, what comes next after Hitman 3? Like, would you do more main games? The question was framed more of main games, not necessarily DLC. However, they did go into the DLC. There's also still work to do on Hitman 3 with post-launch patches and other housekeeping bits. And while IO Interactive is still trying to find the shape of it, Hitman 3 will also be getting DLC. Just don't expect new levels like the New York Bank or the Private Island. We are definitely going to be doing some DLC, but we haven't defined what it is yet. I think for now we are not looking at new maps like the bank and the island. We're more looking at using existing locations and reimagining them, twisting them. And this time around we can use the whole trilogy. We can look back at Hitman 2016 maps, Hitman 2 maps. We have all the locations. And this is not a quote, so this is just speculation. In other words, expect more escalation contracts and perhaps limited time hits across your favorite locations from the entire Hitman trilogy, all accessible from within Hitman 3. And then it obviously goes into how much of a success Hitman 3 has done so well. It sold better than the other two. It's the best-selling game like out right now. I'm so happy because remember, we just talked about, again, profit here, we just talked about how these Hitman games don't sell, and they don't. They really don't. Hitman 1 and 2 were commercial disappointments. They really didn't sell all that well, and honestly, I kind of expected the same thing for a third game, but this is how you do it. And now I do honestly think it is helped out by the fact that there's no other games out. So it's like, hey, this game looks good. It turns out it's actually amazing, and it's the only, literally, what other games are you playing right now? You still playing Cyberpunk? Maybe. Other games from obviously when the PS5 and Xbox Series X came out, stuff like that. But I mean, Hitman 3 is the only big new game out right now, like the most recent. So that is insanely cool. Honestly, that's a really great story. So yeah, I mean, the future of Hitman seems very bright. Look, in the video that I think we talked about Hitman 4. I know we did that, but I think we also talked about the James Bond. I did a story on my second channel talking about, because they gave slight details on James Bond, and what they had said in that interview was that they're doubling their staff. So there's 200 people working there right now, and they want to get it to 400 over the next, I think, 2 to 4 years is what they said, or 2 to 3 years. And I had said in that video, well, I don't know if you need all of them to make Bond. Like, if you only had 200 making Hitman, and by the way, it sounds like that's not even true, because in the article it says they have multiple teams. So out of that 200 there, like right now, that made Hitman 3, I don't even think all of them did that. I feel like there was other ones that were, like, part of the team was working on something else, right? Or, again, like a whole new team. So it's funny, again, I kind of called that. I said, hey, if you're expanding your team, if you're doubling your team to 400 people, it's probably not to just make one game. Now, they talked about a trilogy for Bond, that they want to make a trilogy for Bond, so there's going to be more Bond games, but there's zero reason why they can't make Bond, why they can't do something else, why they can't make Bond while making another Hitman game. I mean, it works. It makes sense, you know what I mean? So it does, by the way, like, as we're getting more interviews, and this is why, and I do say this is an important gaming industry note, interviews are very important. I've said that before. A lot of times you get more from interviews than you get from the games itself. Now, something like this, in terms of like news, we got a lot of news from Hitman just off of one interview. So that's a kind of a pro tip why interviews are pretty darn important. But this is very exciting. I mean, I'll take anything more they want to give me in this game. I'll be honest. Like, when you tell me that you're getting DLC for Hitman, I would prefer like brand new levels. It's just kind of I don't know. It's like you want that, right? Who doesn't want new levels for like a Hitman thing, right? But in all honesty, if you change up the level a little bit, you give a person a different, another handful of ways of taking out a target. You give somebody a new target altogether, stuff like that. If you do something like that, honestly, it's fine. It really is. These levels are detailed enough that if you do make slight tweaks and you do add some stuff, take away some stuff, you can really still make it very special. You know what I mean? It can actually be something really cool. So I'm okay with that. If they make a Hitman 4, if they keep going, I think that's a really, really cool thing too. And again, like it's cool. It's kind of like journalism failed us going into this, and not even journalism. I mean, IO Interactive literally, it's kind of like the thing different studios do for like movies and stuff, where they're like, it's the last one. It's not the last one. We got 3 more planned. You know, it's literally like that going into this game. Like literally 2 months ago, it's the final game of the trilogy. It's the end of Agent 47. Like, this is it. This is the last journey you're gonna have with him. We're done. No, we're going to keep going. In fact, we're going to have DLC, and then we're actually going to make more games in the future as well. And it's like, oh, all right. I mean, again, I'll take that. This game surprised me in how much I love this game. I'll take it, but it's like, well, I don't know. You probably shouldn't go in. And I get it. It's marketing, obviously, right? And that's another thing, too. Maybe why this game did, and that's something maybe they got to be careful of, though, honestly. Maybe the reason they did so well is because they did say over and over again, this is the last game. So people are like, all right, I didn't play 1 or 2. I mean, even like me, like I played 1, I played 2, but I wasn't like in love with them. I didn't play all the levels in either of them, right? But Hitman 3, I was like, okay, this is going to be the game that I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to buy it day 1. I don't even think I bought Hitman 2 day 1. I'm going to buy this game day 1. I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to like give it the whole thing. Now, I still haven't actually beaten it, but I'm like playing through it. So that's even for me. And now imagine the average person, right? Maybe they're like, yeah, I've never done Hitman before, but you know what? This one looks good. There's nothing else out. It's the last one. Might as well jump in. And I honestly feel like a lot of people did that. Now, hearing that they'll just make more of them, maybe those people are like, shoot, maybe I should have waited till Hitman 4 and bought that one, right? So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? When do you think we would get a new Hitman? When do you think we're going to get the DLC? What do you think the DLC is going to be? All of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments below. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon. If you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus is its name. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.